So I play a lot and get dirty and get messy, and then I walk away, and then I go back to it and I start to get serious now. I start to kind of zoom in and focus into what I want the outcome, the end result to be.
Can you tell us about yourself?
My name is Behnaz Ahmadian. I live in Denver, Colorado with my husband, my 12-year-old son. I've always been involved with art from childhood, but I got really serious with it about 7 years ago. It's full-time now, but it was a progress. Playing around with so many different styles and different techniques, I only found my style. And what I've noticed that I love color, I love pattern.
How have your life experiences shaped your art?
My mother was a fashion designer, and I grew up with a family of creatives, but my mother was a fashion designer, and I was always with her magazines and her fabric, and I didn't realize it at that time how much it influenced me now. And just my culture, I'm originally from Iran, I grew up in the States. In my culture, there's so much pattern and color. Like if you look at the Oriental rugs, or if you look at the tiles in the mosques, or, I mean, there's just like, everything has a pattern. And I didn't realize how much it influenced me. So looking back, I realize now why I do what I do. And especially with my mom working with so much fabric and pattern, it's like it brings out my inner child, because I like, especially with my florals that I do right now, I do a lot of collaging with paper and incorporating different decorative paper onto the canvas. I mean, it's like I said, it's amazing how your childhood has influenced you and your background, and who you are kind of shines through your paintings or your art.
What's your creative process like?
Oh my gosh, play is so important for me. And I following a lot of other artists, I see that it's important for them too. And what I mean by that is because a white canvas or a white piece of paper is very intimidating, even for me that I've been doing this for so many years. I get this block. I call it graffiti. I just like to do graffiti. I do a lot of stenciling. And in that process, I learn a lot. And what I've learned now, what I do now, actually goes back to me playing. If I hadn't played and just like went to class and did what the teacher said, or if I hadn't doodled before, or I wouldn't come up with so many patterns and designs and different tools and materials to use, because I love to experiment.
How do you work through creative blocks?
First of all, when I get blocks and I get frustrated, I have to walk away. I have to walk away. Sometimes it could be an hour, it could be a couple minutes. Sometimes it's a couple days that I have to walk away from it. And I don't give up, because a lot of times, knowing this now, a lot of my great paintings are the ones that were kind of made me angry, and I had trouble like getting what I wanted from it. So I've just learned to trust the process. This is so important. Trust the process, don't give up, and definitely walk away. And sometimes I have multiple paintings where happening at the same time, because I get frustrated with one, so I go to another one. It could be easier, and it kind of makes me feel good, because paintings kind of, when you get in that struggling part of it, you feel bad about yourself. And sometimes I feel really like I get upset, and I'm like, why am I so upset today? And I realize, oh, this painting is giving me issues. I don't give up, and sometimes I have to paint over it, and that's okay.
What advice do you have for kid artists?
My main advice would be, don't be afraid to play. Don't be afraid if something happens and it's not what you intended it to be. And you have this set of like, okay, I'm going to draw this and it doesn't come out that way. Practice, 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 practice. Practice, I say, does not make perfect. It makes you better. And so nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. I wouldn't have found my style if I hadn't done it every single day. So if you really, really want to do this and learn, become a better artist, you have to practice and don't give up. And it's so important not to give up. It's not important what people say, because so many people have different opinions or thoughts about your art. It's not important what they say. It's how you are expressing yourself into your paintings, into your drawings, and that's what's important. So erase what everybody says about you.